guys? Josh Almacher with Cream City Central here, just breaking down the Packers-Bills game. So, week 4, the Packers just at home against the Bills, come out with a 22-0 win. And I wouldn't say it's a huge win, but it's a win nonetheless, something the Packers were looking for. And first of all, thank God I'm not here sitting and talking to you guys about another Clay Matthews roughing the passer penalty. I don't think that Packer Nation could take another one of those. And it would be completely unfortunate, first of all, and it would just be frustrating for everybody, including other NFL teams, to see this again. And I don't know if you guys were watching, the Browns game had another roughing the passer penalty, and I would have been extremely upset nonetheless. So the Packers defensive coaches today, they really made an effort to extend the reasoning behind tackling the quarterback, and they really made an effort to show the players how to properly, according to NFL rules, tackle the quarterback. And you even saw one play where Reggie Gilbert came up behind Josh Allen and actually hugged him and pulled him on top of himself to avoid a roughing the passer penalty. It's come to that where Josh Allen's injury is actually the NFL is trying to prevent that more than, say, Reggie Gilbert's injury, because Reggie Gilbert literally pulled all of Josh Allen's weight on top of him. So whatever the case may be, welcome to the NFL in 2018, where you might as well lay a pillow down and tackle the quarterback. So I'm glad the defensive coaches made an effort for that in practice this week. You clearly saw it with all of the tackles or sacks. I believe the Packers had 7 sacks today. And the defense came out to play. So let's start on the defensive side of the ball. So 2 interceptions for the defense, 7 sacks, and it really looked like Mike Pettine, the Packers defensive coordinator, had Josh Allen's number today. So not taking anything away from Josh Allen, but he is a rookie quarterback coming off of a great performance against the Minnesota Vikings. And what that does for a defensive coordinator as experienced as Mike Pettine is, you can expose Josh Allen's faults and all the errors that he made. And that's exactly what I thought happened today. Packers brought a lot of pressure, which was great. Something that in Dom Capers' defense, we hadn't seen a lot of effective blitzing. And that is something that Mike Pettine really has taken time to get right. And I think he's done a stellar job so far. And even guys like Kyler Fackrell came out to play today. And for me, Kyler Fackrell is not the most talented guy in the world, if you know what I mean. But defense really came out to play today, and I was really happy with that. They shut out the Bills' offense. So, I mean, they put up 27 points against the Minnesota Vikings defense, which in the past has been stellar. But this year they've been struggling a little bit, so maybe take that with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, Mike Pettine defense getting it done today. It's exactly what the Packers needed, a great defensive stand at home. So, offensive side of the ball. Jimmy Graham was used a lot. So, Jimmy Graham, obviously, I figured he'd have a great opportunity today while Randall Cobb was on the sideline. Obviously, he was out with an injury today, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling, rookie wide receiver, was in his place. So, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he had 1 target today for 38 yards, so you can't expect a ton out of him, but you really want him to produce. And so going off the passing game, running game, Aaron Jones, gosh, guys, I say it every single week. He is the spark plug for this offense. You might as well call him Aaron the Spark Plug Jones. I mean, the guy, every time you put him in, he's just chug-a-lugging along. The guy really knows how to run the football, and it's apparent. It's really apparent. I'm not taking anything away from Jamal Williams or Ty Montgomery, rather. But the guy only had 11 carries, Aaron Jones did, and I feel like the Packers need to feed him the ball more. 15, 20 carries. I understand if you're going with a 3-back set, maybe he's not going to get as many carries because you're sharing the ball, but I would think the Packers would like to get him around 15 carries. They got him 11 today, 65 yards, 1 touchdown with a long run of 30. So he can only help, honestly. He can only help. So if he's continuing to produce, why the heck not keep him in there? So Geronimo had too many drop passes, in my opinion, today. You had 1 on slant pattern, you had 1 on a back shoulder throw, and those back shoulder throws, those throws are routine for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, you saw it all the time with Jordy Nelson, and I think they're really trying to get Gmo into that Jordy Nelson-esque playing pattern. So they're really trying to elevate his level and the way he plays, but he has to catch the ball. It's just part of being a wide receiver in the NFL, and that's just how it has to be. So Lance Kendricks, I thought, had a few drop passes today that were kind of critical. And, I mean, the guy had a few last week. So I think the Packers are going to have to look for their rookie wide receivers more. And who knows if Randall Cobb will be able to go next week. I expect he will. and somebody's going to have to pick it up. Somebody's just going to have to step up and be an athlete. So special team side. So Mason Crosby, he had a rare missed extra point today, and it's not what you're looking for out of your kicker. It's almost like there's a Lambeau Field curse. Actually, I wouldn't actually call it curse, but I mean, you had Daniel Carlson missing those 2 kicks in overtime. You had Mason Crosby missing that kick in overtime. You had Mason Crosby missing his 6th kick, and and then he comes out today and misses one. So maybe it's just a fluke, whatever it may be. Mason Crosby, rare miss today, and thank God we're playing the Buffalo Bills, because in the future when the Packers go to places like Los Angeles and play the Rams, we're going to need every single point we can get. And so fortunate for us, the missed field or extra point there by Mason Crosby wasn't a huge deal, but in the future it will be. So every single point matters. I thought, I'll go out there and say it, I think Aaron Rodgers was a little off today in the way he played. He didn't play. He wasn't as accurate as I thought he was going to be. Obviously, I mean, he has got a hobbled leg. I can't say too much there, but yeah, he was a little inaccurate. So I thought he should have had maybe 2 or 3 touchdown passes, but he just had 1 today. So Aaron's stats: he had 22 for 40, 298 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, which comes off of a tip from the defensive lineman. Aaron tried to hit a pass to Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham tipped it up in the air again, and defensive back was just there to get it. And I wouldn't say it's Aaron's fault, but you always think, could have Aaron placed the ball somewhere differently than he did on that throw? But you're going to have to just roll with it, I guess. So Aaron was a little off today. I did love his mobility today. So his mobility obviously got a lot better. He practiced midweek, which was something he hasn't done in the past. And Aaron was ready to go. So Aaron, you saw a little more rollouts today, a little more mobility, him rushing for first downs. Some things that we did see last week, we saw more of that this week. And I expect to continue to see Aaron make those plays. And he's going to have to if the Packers are going to play at a high level, because injured wide receivers are only going to hinder the Packers' offense. But I expect the Packers to use more of Jimmy Graham. But with Jimmy Graham, it really just depends on how defenses line up, and that's the way they're going to look at it. So offense was a little off today. Just to kind of sum up everything, so the Packers now are 2-1-1, and next week they head to Detroit to play the Lions, and I believe the Lions lost today. So nonetheless, division games are always important, and if the Packers are trying to win the NFC North, which at the beginning of the season, if you had asked me, I would have said it would have been the Vikings and the Packers. Obviously, that would have duked it out for the first place in the NFC North, but now I almost think it's going to be the Bears and the Packers and probably the Vikings. So next week, the Packers head to Detroit to play the Lions, and just want to keep it short today. Tomorrow night, catch us live and our Packers Cream City Central Live on our Instagram account, 7 p.m. And I'll take all your guys' live questions. So stay tuned for more. See you guys next time.